You can't apply a basis of morality for the whole globe. People are gonna have different rights. People are gonna have different wrongs. It changes. That's why for me, I'm an African spiritualist. I believe in God.
Okay.
But I don't believe that it must apply to everyone. That's just me and my community.
I don't know much about African spiritualism. Would you mind explaining to me what that kind of God is like?
Okay, so I'm from Ghana, West Africa,
Yeah.
And before colonialism, before the British and the Portuguese, we subscribed to a practice called Akan, right? So we call our creator Yankopon, means world creator. Now, we don't bestow this stuff onto anyone else. We don't believe in spreading it to anyone else. It's a community thing.
Yeah.
It's an oral tradition. It's for us, that's it. You don't agree? Hey, that's up to you.
I find religion really interesting, even though I'm not religious. Like I don't believe in any religions. I'm an atheist, but I find religion interesting. So I like chatting to people about it and finding out about their religions.
What's your stance? Are you saying that there's no?
I personally don't believe there is a God, but that's not me saying I know for certain.
Yeah, same thing. Same thing. I'm not saying we know there's a God.
Exactly. Yeah.
What we don't know, we must find a way so that we can tell ourselves that now we know. I think one of the most scariest things to tell yourself when you leave religion is, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now it's like, because you've been conditioned to think about heaven and hell for so long.
Yeah.
And then you've now come to an age where you have instilled critical thinking and you've left religion.
It can be scary,
man. I don't know. That is such a scary abyss to be in.
Yeah.
You know?
And I feel for people who are deeply religious and then become atheists. Because for me, I sort of believed in God when I was younger, but I wasn't from like a religious family. So when I stopped believing in God, it wasn't a big deal for me. I was just
for me, you had it better than I did. Because I was in Bible study Tuesday, Sunday, in African household.
Really? Yeah.
Forced to go.
Damn.
It's not right. So when you finally leave that side, it's like now you're an adult. You can think for yourself. Make decisions for yourself. Educate yourself first before you choose. Because a lot of people feel like, my mother, my father was this, so I'm this. So what is on the sign there? I didn't see.
Well, here's the thing. I was going to lead it to this. I'm here to talk about the ethical treatment of animals. And so I was going to ask, from your perspective, with how you view...
don't like bars.
Yeah, no, but here's the thing. From your perspective, with how you view morality and stuff like that, how do you think animals should be treated in the world?
You know, that's such a good point. And this makes me such a hypocrite, But I would look at, let's say, for example, if you have a culture where you eat cats or dogs, and even where I'm from, in Ghana, there is a part where we eat cats. Yeah. And I look at them like, why are you eating cats? But then they'll ask me, but you eat meat, you eat pigs and cows, chicken. So what's the difference here? So that makes me a hypocrite. And obviously I grew up here, I'm born and raised here, so I'm accustomed to see cats and dogs being domestic, even rabbits being domestic. Yeah. But then I wouldn't look at a chicken and be like, I'm gonna keep that. Or a cow, that's dinner, steak and all that kind of stuff. So that's who I grew up to be.
With that in mind though, because earlier I was saying how I view morality is that suffering is bad no matter who experiences it. Do you think that's also true for the animals you might be eating?
Possibility. I'll be so honest. I don't like lying for the sake of argument, right? I don't think that far for the animals.
Fair enough.
That's a brutal answer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it sounds that way, but I don't think that far for the animals.
And I think a lot of people are like that, to be fair. So you're definitely not alone in being like that. Maybe about 7 or 8 years ago, I really started thinking about if they can suffer, if they can feel happiness, why don't they count in our moral decisions as much, right? What do you think?
Me coming from Africa, right? You'll see villages, and Africa has wealth, but with colonialism, we've been reduced to sometimes not even having water. So I want to pose this to you: if all that I have left to survive is that chicken, what now? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to survive. That chicken is all I've got.
And I think there's nuance here, right?
What I'm saying? But this brings it back to what I was saying. There's always exceptions.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think there's nuance here. I think if you need to kill and eat the animal to survive, and you would literally starve to death without it, then I think fair enough. Because like I said, you don't want to suffer, right? You don't want to starve to death. Right. So I think fair enough. But if you're in a situation where you're in a city like London, where there's millions of plant-based options around you, and you don't need to pay for animals to be harmed, I personally think it's unfair that you pay for animals to suffer in a slaughterhouse when you could just eat something else. Right. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's fair. I mean, look, I want to ask this.
Go for it.
Because sometimes I go to Oxford Circus, and sometimes I see people who would be up for forcing people to not eat meat. Yeah. Are you of that same narrative?
Forcing is, I wouldn't.
Let's say, let's make let's say you're what's the guy with the rings on his finger?
Oh, Thanos.
Let's say it's Thanos.
Yeah.
You can click, and you can literally force everyone to stop eating meat. Would you do it? Would you initiate that?
Yeah. But the reason why, hear me out.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to do it in a way that made people suffer, right? Because like I said, I care about the well-being of everyone, including animals. I'd want to convince people rationally why that they should do it, right? I want to help them understand that these animals have feelings, they don't want to be harmed, right? That's how I would want to do it. The reason why I do the Thanos snap is because if I could do that, I could also click my fingers to make them not mind, right?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, personally, I don't want to beat people up about it. I don't want to be an arsehole.
Right.
I just want to help people to understand that humans aren't the only animals that have feelings, right? Other animals have feelings, and so we should treat them with respect. And if treating them with respect means not forcing them into a gas chamber, not sticking them in a factory farm where they're standing in their own waste just so we can eat them, do you know what I mean? It's like we need to take their feelings into account too. And I think that if you're in a situation where you have to kill them to survive, fair enough. But when you're in London and you've got plant-based options everywhere, I think it's unfair to pay for animals to suffer like that. Do you at least see where I'm coming from?
I absolutely respect you. I'm not the one to say no, we must eat meat. They don't have feelings. God said we should. I'm not of that. I can critically think for myself. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I admit I'm a hypocrite because if I'm able to treat that elephant well, am I able to treat that cat well or the dog well? But then I don't look no further, and I live in London. And I don't look no further towards the cow or the horse, or wherever it is that I eat. Then that makes me a hypocrite, and I accept that. I
appreciate your honesty.
I'm honest about that. So I don't know where to go from there.
Well, honestly, to be fair, I appreciate the conversation, man. Thanks so much.
What was your name?
My name's Jake.
Frank, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I've got cards here, which has a QR code to my page where I post all these videos. Okay. But it's also got some resources to just learn more about animal farming and stuff like that.
Bet. All right, Jake.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man. Thank you.
Cheers.